Once again, I welcome you. Welcome to our session. The topic for today is insights into EIT's advanced diplomas and other vocational programs. This will be presented by my colleague, who is a lead learning support officer based in Zimbabwean office, Isabel Sibanda, together with our 2024 student ambassador, Mr. Jonathan Constable. So just before I hand things over to Isabel and Jonathan, I just want to answer just common questions. I see some they already came through. So in terms of copy of the slides and the recording, you will be receiving this after the session in the next 2 business days. So we will send you all this information through your emails. So just make sure that you monitor your junk together with the spam folder. Just a quick overview for those who are joining us for the first time, just to give you some highlights on who we are as a EIT. So Engineering Institute of Technology, we specialize in engineering. We offer practical education and training in technology and engineering. So you see, we deliver professional certificates. We have diplomas, advanced diplomas, undergraduate and graduate certificates. We have bachelor's and master's degree. And then our highest level of qualification, it's our Doctor of Engineering. And yes, we are industry orientated, and I'm sure you all can agree with me that time to time the industry is changing, technology is changing. So at EIT, we ensure that our programs, together with our resources, are up to date, just to keep up with the trends in the market. We just like any higher education provider in Australia, we are accredited with Australian governments, and we also have some of programs, our engineer programs, that are recognized under 3 international engineering accords. We source our lectures from different parts of the globe to ensure that all our students they learn from industry experts. We're making use of webinars, interactive webinars. We also make use of remote labs and simulation when coming to deliver our practical learnings. And just on that note, I will hand things over to my colleague, Isabel. Isabel, you can take it away. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Hi, everyone. My name is Isabel Sibanda. Can I just confirm you can hear me before we proceed?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm trying to share my video. I think it's a bit frozen, but I'll start in any case. As the slide shows, I am based in Zimbabwe. I've been with EIT for about 10 years, going on 11, and I'm a lead learning support officer. Okay. My qualifications are in marketing, diploma in leadership and management, and another in I also got a cert for in training and assessment. So I'm just going to go through some information regarding our VET courses that we deliver here at EIT. All right. So there's a couple of advanced diplomas that we offer. This slide here shows just a few that we have. This is not all, by the way. There's more, but these are some of the common ones, right? So on the far left here are the accreditation codes for each of those courses. For example, the Advanced Diploma of Industrial Automation accreditation code is 52886WA. We've got 52883, the Advanced Diploma of Applied Electrical Engineering, and these other ones listed here. So as an engineer, you obviously want to keep advancing yourself, and you would wonder, what's the benefit of me actually completing some of those courses? I'll just mention a few potential job outcomes. For example, if you complete the Advanced Diploma of Industrial Automation, you can potentially become an automation supervisor, an electronics assembler, field technician, automation or controls technician, project supervisor, engineering associate, just to mention a few. And then if you complete my personal favorite, the Advanced Diploma of Electrical Engineering, because I'm normally the LSO for that one, you can potentially become an electrical technician, an E&I technician, automation technician, engineering associate, project supervisor. So I noticed that with most of those courses, the advanced diplomas, you can potentially become an engineering associate or a project supervisor, amongst other job titles, for like electrical supervisor for DEE. Okay, and then I'll just mention a few job outcomes also for the advanced diploma of mechanical engineering. You can be a mechanical technician, a field technician, mechanical specialist, process service technician, a draftsperson, a designer, and so forth. Okay, so as Barry mentioned, we offer industry-oriented programs. So we want to make sure that upon completing our courses, you're actually job ready. You might still be working, you might already be working in industry, but you'll potentially get more skills in whatever field you're interested in. Okay. If for some reason my network drops out, please bear with me. I'll log right back in. I had a few issues in the morning, so please just bear with me. But hopefully it will be a smooth session. All right, so other qualifications that we offer apart in the VET sector, apart from the advanced diplomas, we also got a couple of graduate certificates. For example, we've got 2 new ones that we introduced recently, and this is the graduate certificate in hydrogen engineering management and engineering and management here. And then we also have 52911WA graduate certificate in Internet of Things for engineering foundations. And we've always had this one here, the graduate certificate in renewable energy technologies. So we've run this one for quite some time now. In addition to that, other qualifications include the Diploma of Leadership and Management, BSB 0420, as well as a Diploma of ESI Power Systems, UET 50221. So this is just to give you a rough idea of what qualifications we have in the VET sector here at EIT. The diplomas, advanced diplomas, and the graduate certificates. So the 2 new courses that I mentioned just now are actually scheduled to start, I think, on the 7th of May, 2024, if you're interested in this. All right. So as a learning support officer, part of our roles is to ensure that your learning management system, which is Moodle, is always up to date with course materials. So that's one of the most important roles that the LSO would have. So this image here shows what the LMS looks like. So as you can see on the far left, there's a few sections shown here. You would have some course information and resources, student aids, webinar information. This is where all your webinar schedules would be. And then if you look at this, this is the very first unit for this particular course, right? So on Moodle, this is where we upload all your course materials. If you've got an assignment, you'll find it on Moodle. If you've got a quiz is actually completed on Moodle, and the system marks that automatically as you complete, and you're able to track your grades as well. So if I come to you and send you an email to say, hi, you did not get 100% on the quiz, for example, for Unit 1, you can easily check your grades also, see what, go onto that quiz, see what question you would have missed, and then you redo that. Right, so Moodle also has your reading materials. It's got information on how to access the library, remote labs that I'll talk about shortly, and your webinar slides and any pre-recording materials. So you've got access to this page from from the time your course starts right up to the end. So I normally tell students on my intakes that Moodle should actually be your best buddy, because you need to be logging onto Moodle on a regular basis to see the latest materials as well as your webinar schedules, so that you know what time you need to attend your webinars, and you also attend your webinars using the links that would be on Moodle. We're currently using yes, we're using another platform, but this platform here that we're using for this particular session is the one that we used to use previously. We're moving on to the new one at the present moment. Right. So if you're studying online, it might be daunting for other people if you've never studied online before, and you might wonder, will I be able to actually complete a course online for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, depending on the length of the program. This is where the learning support officers come in, student support. We're here to help you complete your program. So you've got your learning support officers as well as academic support. I'll talk about that just now. So from the time you actually enroll into your course, you've got one dedicated learning support officer who will help you with administrative queries. Okay, so you can either talk to your learning support officer via email, or you can actually phone them if you're having trouble, and they'll help you. So you literally have one person that you talk to for the duration of your course. So we provide guidance that are not content related. We are not engineers, but we're just here to support you mainly with administrative issues. For example, live tutorial information. You want to know what time you need to attend your webinar. Maybe you're struggling to convert the UCT time to your local time zone. If you need extensions on assessments, or you talk to your learning support officer. If you can't see your grades on Moodle, or maybe there's an issue with your grade, you talk to your learning support officer, and they'll be able to guide you. Sometimes you might be having health issues or personal issues that hinder you, maybe from submitting your assessments on time, or that hinder you from attending webinars. Your LSO is the one person that you would need to talk to, inform them of whatever situation you're going through. You don't have to get into detail, just brief them on what's going on, and explain the reason why you need additional time. And we're always here to support you. We'll grant you extensions. We'll provide, we will try and figure out how best we can make sure that you don't fall behind, because it's important for you to make sure that you're moving at the same pace as the rest of the class. Right, you can't be falling behind. If you do, then maybe you would have to join another cohort, right, if ever it comes to that. So your LSO is there to guide you on familiarizing yourself during the first week, and supporting you throughout the duration of your course. Right, I'll move on. And then academic support. Right, this is where your instructors come in, because we, like I said, the learning support officers are not engineers. We would not know. If you ask me anything technical, I would not be able to assist you. That's where your instructors come in. Again, we upload, we always make sure that the instructor email addresses are available for you on your Moodle page. If you can't locate it, then you can always email your LSO, and then they guide you, or they provide you with the email address. So most of our instructors have 20 or more years of industry experience in the engineering field, and they've been working with us for quite a long time now. So part of their responsibilities are reviewing course materials and software. This is to ensure that we are always up to date, right? I'm sure most of you would agree that technology is always advancing from time to time. So we always strive in ensuring that all the materials that are delivering are up to date with current industry trends. Okay, and then your instructors would also be responsible for delivering informative live webinars to ensure that they are covering all the learning outcomes for each and every module and unit. Okay. So we encourage students to interact. I forgot to get you guys to talk a bit, but just for interest's sake, can you guys tell me where you're watching this webinar from? I'll tell you why I'm saying that in a few minutes. If you don't mind, can you please just let me know what country you're watching this webinar from? My colleague is in South Africa. My colleague Barry, you can just type on the chat box. Joseph says he's in Kenya. Thank you. Same as Dennis. Anyone else? Rwanda, okay. Nigeria, South Africa, okay. Thank you all for your responses. I'll explain why I asked you just that question just now. All right. So another thing is that with our classes, we try to make sure that we maintain a certain number, right, to ensure that we build rapport with lecturers and fellow students. We don't want to overcrowd each intake, just to make sure that the LSOs and the instructors are able to support them fully, right? So with the instructors, you can ask questions either during the webinar. As you can see, you're able to type messages, and we see that, or whoever is presenting sees that that question or that comment, and then they'll address it either during the webinar or afterwards. If you're shy, or if you just don't feel like asking a question during the webinar, that's still fine. All instructor email addresses, like I said, will be available on your Moodle page. So you can always grab that email address from Moodle, email your instructor, copy in your learning support officer, so that if you don't get a response, I'll be able to see that okay, maybe Barry did not get their response, and then I'll quickly pop an email to the instructor, have them respond to you, and then yeah, hopefully you get the help that you need. Okay. All right. Regarding webinars, like I've just said, I always encourage my students to please talk. Don't be shy. Please ask questions. We encourage all our instructors also to make sure that webinars are as interactive as possible. Sometimes there can be a quick pop quiz to make sure that everyone is still in the room, because imagine if a session runs for 60 minutes and it's a totally new topic, or maybe a complex topic. I, for one, don't like maths. I don't see myself being able to attend a very long session in maths. But if it's an interactive and engaging one, obviously that will grab my attention, and I'll try to grab as much knowledge as I can from that session. So most of our sessions run for approximately 60 minutes. The attendance requirement for our webinars is 70%. So this requirement is for the duration of the course, right? We're not saying you should attend 70% per module. No, it's for the complete program. If your program is running maybe for 18 months, right, you need to attend 70% of the total webinars that would have been presented throughout the course. I hope that makes sense. If for some reason you cannot attend, or your attendance score is less than this, that's still fine. All our sessions are recorded, just like we're recording this particular session. All our webinars are recorded, and students have access to these recordings through Moodle, right? Like I said, Moodle has to be your best buddy. As long as you're studying with us, Moodle has to be your best buddy, because that's where you get all your resources from. If you miss a webinar, go into Moodle whenever you've got a chance. There's no deadline really for submitting webinars, but I normally encourage people to make sure that if a session maybe is held today, 29 February, Thursday, just try and make sure that you watch the webinar in the next week or two, right? And then type a summary. There would be a template that you need to use for typing that summary. Again, it will be on Moodle. Type a summary, just half a page, and include the major points that would have been covered throughout that webinar, and send that summary through to your learning support officer. Okay. The reason why we encourage this is so that you at least boost your attendance, to make sure that you're meeting the 70% that we spoke about, because attending a webinar and submitting a summary gives you an equivalent mark. It's as good as you've attended a webinar if you submit the summary. Okay. No, Lovelace, you can't change your LSO. If you're assigned, if an LSO is assigned an intake, they take care of that intake from start to finish, unless maybe they go on leave or they are away for a couple of days. Then there will just be someone assisting with out of office. But normally there's one LSO taking care of one intake from start to finish. Okay. Hope that answers your question. I think Lovelace has left us. But all right, we'll move on. Entry requirements. So for our VET qualifications, we require for students to at least have a year 12 or a certificate 3 trade qualification or equivalent in the related fields. So for example, if you're applying for entry in the advanced diploma of electrical engineering, you need to have a trade qualification as well as at least 2 years experience, work experience in the related field. Right, so you need to show us your CV needs to be detailed to show that you have been working in the field. You do have the industry experience. Right, that's the first one. Alternatively, we require for applicants to have at least 4 years work experience in the related field, as well as satisfactory English language proficiency. So you could have passed English at a senior certificate or of education or equivalent. We also accept IELTS, and your score has to be at least 5.5, right? Or satisfactory completion of another course that is offered by EIT. So maybe if you've done, say, a professional certificate of competency with us, that would suffice. So these are the entry requirements for our VET qualifications. We'll move on. Right, accreditation. This is quite important. If you're studying, you need to make sure that you are gaining a useful qualification. So on the chat box, I've just popped a link. This is the National Register for VETs, training.gov.au. This is where you list, this is where you can see a list of all accredited qualifications under the Australian government. So our courses, as most of you are aware, are accredited under the Australian government. EIT is a registered training organization, and our provider number is 51971. Okay. We've got a couple of qualifications that have recognition under the Dublin Accord. Hopefully, you guys remember me mentioning job outcomes for some of our qualifications earlier, right? So we've got some qualifications that are recognized under the Dublin Accord, and this means that students have even more recognition. So the signatories, some of the signatories of this accord include in Australia, Engineers Australia, Canada, it's represented by Technology Professionals Canada, South Africa, so a couple of people will say they're based in South Africa, it's represented by EXA, the Engineering Council of South Africa. In the UK, for example, it's represented by Engineering Council of United Kingdom. So we do have some qualifications that are recognized under the Dublin Accord, for example, the Advanced Diploma of Industrial Automation. But all our courses are actually accredited under the Australian government. And if you go on that link that I provided on there, you can see all the list of all the courses that we have that are accredited here at EIT. Okay. Right, so as engineers, you guys obviously know that there has to be some practical work as well included on a course. So you might wonder, how exactly does EIT do this? Are the courses only theoretical? No, we do make use of remote and virtual labs. So normally per module, you would have to complete mainly 2 assessments. The first one is a quiz, right, which I mentioned that you do online on Moodle, and it's marked automatically, right? But there's also practical a practical and a written assessments. So we've got some equipment that is set up physically in the Western Australia, Perth. We've got some equipment in South Africa, as well as the United Kingdom, right? So students around the world connect onto these labs virtually. Your assignment would tell you which lab you need to book, and then there would be instructions on what exactly the outcome of your practical assessment should be, right? So the equipment is physically set up in these countries, in Australia, South Africa, and UK, but as students around the world. Remember, I asked you guys, where are you based? So whether you're based in Botswana, Zambia, Ghana, I'm just reading the countries that are here, Australia, Gambia, Uganda, you are able to to these virtual labs to complete your practical assignment. Like we always mention that we are industry oriented. We need to make sure that upon completion of your qualification, you've got skills and knowledge that you can use at your workplace, right? You're studying maybe to. I've seen some students mention that they're studying to get a promotion. Yeah, the outcomes of each course are to advance your knowledge and skills in that particular field, and our virtual labs are part of the tools that we use to make sure that you're getting current, up to date knowledge in industry, right? So no matter where you are, I'm currently sitting in Zimbabwe. I'm able to also, if I do study an advanced diploma or a course at EIT, I'm able to connect to those labs to complete my practical assignment. Your assignments are always made available on the first day your module starts, okay? So if the module starts today, you have access to your practical assignment. And I always tell people to please make sure that you start working on your assignment well in advance, because you need to book a lab. You can imagine the number of students that we have. You need to book your lab, and once it's available, you jump in, complete your practical assignment, and then upload onto Moodle for the assessors to mark. Your LSO is not the person who would be marking. We've got qualified assessors who review, assess your assessments and provide feedback again on Moodle. Okay, so I think this is my last slide. I hope you kind of have an idea of our qualifications and how it's offered, as well as the support that you would have if you're starting with us. And yeah, I hope I'll be seeing some of you on some of our courses in the near future. We will watch the chat box later for questions. I'll hand over back to Barry or John. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Isabel. Thanks for everyone for participating. As she mentioned, we will be looking at your questions towards the end of the session. For now, I just want to hand things over to Jonathan. Jonathan, are you there?
Yep.
Sure, you can take it away. Thanks very much.
Yep. Good. So you can see by the picture, I had about 10 years of experience in fitting and turning in different parts of the industry before I went legally blind. I've still got some vision, but it's not crash shot. I worked at Australian turntables after I went blind as an assembler, but yeah, it's very difficult to try and find work being legally blind at the trade level. So I've opted to do the advanced diploma so that I can go into a bachelor's degree. So as I just mentioned, I'm studying the advanced diploma of mechanical engineering. I chose EIT because it's unique online platform that it's got, the way that the webinars are recorded. There's two different time slots that you can look at doing the classes in, and if as also mentioned before, if you miss it, you can watch the video. I actually went back and watched some videos of the webinars you know, to assist with some of the questions, because it was just much easier to watch the webinar again and try and remember it all and do it without. So, as mentioned, I've got to get some higher qualification to sort of advance my career. So I learned different parts of the engineering that I hadn't really experienced as a fitter and turner, even though I had a broad range of work experience in fitting and turning and maintenance, assembly, machining, working at metal foundries, like in poured casting and sintered casting. I still didn't know, you know, lots of different parts of industries, but yeah, I needed to, you know, learn more and join in. You know, this picture here is, you know, what a lot of people would relate to in structural engineering. It's a beam under deflection. It's taken from one of the EIT manuals. I think it was structural engineering for non-structural engineers. And that's coming to what I've just mentioned, is I just mentioned about structural engineering. The picture there is from, I think it's maintenance, practical maintenance and troubleshooting of AC electrical motors and drives. It's the current around a conductor. Hang on, I'll just look through my notes. Sorry, I'm just looking through my notes here. Yeah, troubleshooting. Yeah, troubleshooting, maintenance, and protection of AC motors and drives, and it is magnetic field, magnetic lines around a field conductor. So that comes from, you know, mostly people would associate that with electrical engineering, but as a mechanical engineer, I've got to know a bit about electrical, a bit about civil engineering, where the structural element came from, and, you know, a bit about even computer programming and things like that, which is related to the subject I'm still doing. I'm still currently enrolled in the course, so I'm not quite finished. And as has been mentioned by Isabel, is that, you know, they've stayed up, you know, they've got to stay up to date, and just because you've done the training, you've still got to keep up to date and, you know, evolve with technology. And you've got to be able to communicate, you know, technical things to non-technical people, because there's no use having a brilliant idea if the people that you're trying to explain this idea to can't understand your idea. So you need to learn to communicate with non-technically minded people, as well as being able to communicate well with technically minded people. And yet, responsible engineering practices have positive outcomes for everyone, as in, they've got to, engineers develop things to help people to make the world better. There's a big push to decarbonise and get away from the fossil fuel use because of the level of pollution that it's creating. Now, it's going to help my career by learning professional engineering practices. There's a module in that which I learned to use software that I'd never used before. I should have mentioned earlier that I used it in one of the assignments. We had to use a finite analysis tool, which I'd never used that software before either, and a fluid sim, which I'd never used before. So I use numerous softwares apart from those that I've mentioned. And a lot of these softwares I just hadn't ever used before. Been in fitting and turning, machining. I'd done CNC stuff. I'd done CAM stuff. I'd done a bit of CAD stuff even, but I'd never used any of these other software packages before. Presentation, like, again, there's elements of presentation in that subject as well. And doing this, I've gained confidence in my own ability, because I didn't actually know how high I was going to get marks, and I'm sustaining a fairly high standard in my achievements through the course. And without doing it, every assignment I hand in, I always have in the back of my mind that, I reckon I've got that one wrong. Oh, I'm not sure about this one, but they come back and I've got them right. So it's like, oh yeah, okay. I was questioning myself, but I've done well. So I've noticed there's a few people with their hands up. I didn't have the Collaborate panel open. Well, I can answer the question. Some of the webinars are at different times. It depends on the actual instructors, but like I mentioned earlier, they're held at 2 different times. Like one will be depending on where you are in the world. I mean, I'm in Australia, so one of them is generally in the evening between 6 o'clock and I think the latest has been about 10 o'clock. I have had one at 3 p.m. But then there's another one at 3 or 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. This is for me. I'm in Australia, so the time for me is very different to other people. I've been stupid enough to miss some, so I've logged back on. I'm not sure if there's any of these questions. No. I don't think that any of these questions are exactly for me. So I'm going to move on. And I think Isabel might be finishing up.
Thanks, Jonathan. I think I'll take it from here, and then after Isabel and myself will just go back to the questioning. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks very much, Jonathan. So yeah, just to see some of our upcoming programs, you can view our course schedule by scanning the QR code there, and just to see if you can be able to. Someone did ask me about some of the courses. I did also paste the link on how you can view our program. I just posted the link again. Otherwise, you can scan the QR code, or you can actually speak to our friendly course advisor should you have some form of questioning in terms of courses, how to enroll, and requirements. So you can just use the QR code to book a slot at your convenient time, and then one of our friendly course advisor will be in touch with you. All right, upcoming webinars. So we do have a webinar coming for 6th of March, Internet of Things, sustainable material and practices in civil engineering, power quality challenge with penetration of renewable energy, and then hydrogen technology engineering and management towards the net zero emission. So we have that lined up for month of March. So you can just go to EIT website under events and just ensure that you sign up for those webinars so you don't miss out. Yes, we'll now go back to questioning. I'll hand things back to Isabel. I'll be on the chats as well, just replying some of the questions. Thanks very much. Back to you, Isabel.
Thank you, Ben. So Itumeleng, quantity surveying and construction management. No, currently I have not heard that we will be offering that course. If for some reason it's introduced in the near future, we'll probably pop it onto our website. Trymo, your question was for Jonathan, but basically you don't need to have equipment per se at home. Like I said, we've got virtual labs. We do have the equipment set up in South Africa, UK, Australia, but it doesn't mean that students in those locations actually go into the office to complete assignments. Everything is done online through the virtual labs. So you're able to log onto the lab and control that equipment and then submit your assignment. I hope that answers your question. Humphrey asked about course fees. We've got two payment options. You can either pay in equal monthly installments, or you can pay full fees upfront. I don't know if I missed any other question. Ijamileng also asked if in Botswana, after completion, do you send certificate? Yeah, so for everyone who completes a course, an advanced diploma or a graduate certificate, after completing your program, we courier your graduation package, which will have your certificate, your record of results, your course grades, a letter of congrats. We courier it to an address that you would have provided. How long do I take to complete degree in civil after advanced diploma? Barry, can you just jump in on this one? I'm not sure if there's credits for DCS to BCS.
Thanks, Isabel. So I do. How long do I take to complete a degree in civil advanced diploma? So once you've completed advanced diploma, yes, you will have some credits that you obtain into the bachelor level. However, that does not necessarily mean it will take like a very short space of time to complete the credit, to complete the qualification. I'm not really sure about the number of credits. If you can just quickly, I'm just gonna post my email address to you. If you can just share your details, then I will just sort of like share with you credit articulation on moving into the advanced diploma, going into a bachelor's degree. Thanks, Isabel.
Sorry, I might just jump in here too, because like I said, I'm going to move into a bachelor's after I've done the advanced diploma. I think it's about a year going from the advanced diploma in mechanical engineering into a bachelor's, but you'd have to make the inquiry in the particular course that you're doing. I think it's one subject short of being a year for the mechanical engineering at the present time.
Thanks, Jonathan, for your input.
Right. Trimo, we normally have graduations in Australia and South Africa. So if you're near those locations, so we normally say if obviously for students based in Australia, they can attend the ceremony physically. And if you are near South Africa, you can also attend that physically. Dennis, kindly repeat for registration. Did you mean the entry requirements? Or you mean you need a link for actually registering for a course? I'm just looking for the slide with entry requirements. So these are our entry requirements. You need to have at least a year 12 or a certificate 3 trade qualification in the related field, as well as 2 years industry experience or 4 years work experience, and satisfactory English language proficiency. Francis, I asked the question of if EIT have auto body work and spray. No. I'm not sure I understand this question. Do you mean, do we offer a course on this? Can you also just look at the link that was pasted by Barry? I'll paste it again with all the courses that we have on offer. And then you can just email the course advisors with whatever course of interest, and then they'll send you more information about that. Oh, thanks, Barry. David, is there a way a person can attend physically? I mean, the like master's program. Yes, we do have on campus, but only for higher education courses. Please email the course advisors for more information about these. Because I'm in the vet sector for advanced diplomas and grad certificates. But if you email Barry, he'll be able to either assist you or direct you to the person who will help you with on-campus courses. Okay, Dennis, you were referring to entry requirements. I hope this slide has answered your question. Year 12, Cert 3, trade qualification or equivalent, as well as industry experience. Nathan, please link for the registration on student portal. Okay. You can submit your inquiry online as well. For which course in particular, and where are you based? So that we direct you to the relevant course advisors, because we've got course advisors in different locations handling queries from different countries. So maybe Nathan, can you just let me know which particular course you'd like to register for and where you're based? Then we'll take it from there. So our advanced diplomas are a level 6 qualification according as I'm sure you're aware that our courses are accredited in Australia, like I mentioned earlier. So according to the Australian qualifications framework, advanced diplomas are a level 6 qualification, right? So with SAQA, what you would need to do is upon completion of your course, you compile your documents, send copies to them, and then they'll review your qualification and advise what level it falls under. We cannot determine the outcomes of SAQA, unfortunately, but we encourage students to compile the documents and send them through to SAQA. but under the Australian qualifications framework, it's a level 6 qualification. Barry, please just post the people are asking for a link for registrations. Thank you. I'm not sure if there's any other question that I missed. If not, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. And yeah, we hope to see you at EIT very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Isabel. Thanks, Jonathan. And thanks, everyone, for joining. I just posted my email address as well. Should you have any questions further, please feel free to message us, and then we will be able to assist you with your inquiries. And then, yeah, you can always just go on our website to look into more of our upcoming webinar sessions. From us, thank you so much. Have a great day. Cheers.